And I want to talk about a little bit about Thanksgiving, not so much what it stands for with the Pilgrims and how they survive, but really about Thanksgiving. It is a day to be with family, friends, relatives, or even if you choose to be alone. But it's a day to reflect upon your life, and it's a time to give thanks for whatever is going on in your life. Everything that occurs in our life is a gift. Even though it can be very painful, it leads to another step, which leads to another step, which leads to another step, and that leads to growth. And remember what I've talked about. What your truth is today may be different in 5 years from now or even tomorrow morning. But how often do we get up in the morning and say, great, it's great to be awake, or give thanks for being awake? Or how often do we say, hey, thanks for being my friend, thanks for being in my life? Or giving gratitude to people who have gone out of their way. I work with a lot of different people in all kinds of fields. I work with doctors, lawyers, nurses, and so on and so forth. And, I always say thank you. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your knowledge. Thank you for sharing. And they kind of beam and they look really happy. And one of my clients is a nurse, and I talked to her about all the good she was doing and the healing she was doing. And, she said, yeah. And then finally, we had a conversation today. She said, Michael, I'm really stubborn. And she said, you know what? I had some people come up and said, thank you for taking care of my mother. Thank you for helping my son. Thank you for doing that. And she said, I really felt good. I really like being a nurse and charge nurse. I really like it. Well, I went, hoorah, you finally got it, that you were changing people's lives. Now, just think for a minute. When they complimented her, they changed her life. And she's going to remember that because she's going to get more accolades. So whatever you give out, you get back. So if you're giving accolades, you're thanking everybody, showing appreciation. Sooner or later, it's got to come back to you because that's the law. Whatever you express comes back to you. Whatever you do comes back to you. And we have to make a conscious choice to examine our lives. As I talked about for the next 25, 26 months, there is going to be lots of chaos all over this planet. True Source was correcting me, and I thought it was less, but it really is 25, 26 months of nothing but lots of anger, frustration, and chaos. And I can, as they say, I'm of this planet, but not in the negative emotion of this planet. We can choose to do that. In my book, The Spiritual Primer, I wrote about compassion and understanding. And sometimes I get annoyed with people, and the True Source goes, Michael, remember you wrote about compassion and understanding? Yeah, I got it. That's the way I kind of answer. And the more I practice that, the more I feel good about myself, the more compassion I have for people. But compassion is interesting. You have compassion for them to take this journey in life, which can be arduous and challenging or full of love and joy, or some of each. But you have to admire them for changing in the terms of letting their lives be in the flow, or changing to being stuck. Think about that. You make a conscious decision to change to be in the flow, which brings you love and joy and happiness, or change to be stuck and being angry and upset. And it's our choice. But if everything is an experience, everything is empowering, and everything leads to a great growth within us, then we can see the wisdom of everything that occurs in our life is nothing but an experience to empower ourselves. So if you give thanks for the lesson I've learned, like I learned this lesson to be this and this and this, then it's go, oh, Michael learned a lesson, so he doesn't need it anymore. Or you give thanks for your prosperity and abundance. And not all the time, but I try to remember when I pay a bill, I give thanks for this prosperity to pay this bill, or whatever it may seem. And when you do that, the universe said, well, we'll give you more of this. We'll help you with this. You deserve it. And so when you're together in Thanksgiving and you're having fun and the comradeship, or maybe you're just alone and you're enjoying the solitude and music, treat yourself, spoil yourself, and spoil those who are around you. And show your love and concern for them. Because it becomes it becomes infectious. And when it becomes infectious, it comes back to you. So think about all the joy in life that you have. I know I get up in the morning and sometimes I go, I got a whole bunch of things to do. Nope, I'm happy and I'm awake. And then I do my affirmations. And then I do some meditations. And sometimes it takes a half an hour to an hour. But you know what? When I find I don't do that, then my day doesn't go as smooth or cooperative. So look at your life. Give thanks for every experience you've had. Realize that it helped empower you. It's created what you are, but you are in a flux of creation, meaning that you are growing and growing and growing. And remember when I was talking to the True Source about the rose bush that I chopped down and grew back, and True Source taught me about what joy and happiness in our life is and what perfection means. And perfection means ever growing more perfect. And that's where you are. You are growing more perfect, more enlightened, more empowered, because you are unlimited.